A young peasant in the parish of Melby, who often amused himself with hunting, saw one day 3 swans flying towards him, which settled down upon the strand of a sound nearby. Approaching the place, he was astonished at seeing the 3 swans divest themselves of their feathery attire, which they threw into the grass, and 3 maidens of dazzling beauty stepped forth and sprang into the water. After sporting in the waves a while, they returned to the land, where they resumed their former garb and shape and flew away in the same direction from which they came. One of them, the youngest and fairest, had, in the meantime, so smitten the young hunter that neither night nor day could he tear his thoughts from the bright image. His mother, noticing that something was wrong with her son, and that the chase, which had formerly been his favorite pleasure, had lost its attractions, asked him finally the cause of his melancholy, whereupon he related to her what he had seen, and declared that there was no longer any happiness in his life for him if he could not possess the fair Swan Maiden. "Nothing is easier," said the mother. "Go at sunset next Thursday evening to the place where you last saw her. When the 3 swans come, give attention to where your chosen one lays her feathery garb. Take it and hasten away." The young man listened to his mother's instructions, and betaking himself, the following Thursday evening, to a convenient hiding place near the sound, he waited, with impatience, the coming of the swans. The sun was just sinking behind the trees when the young man's ears were greeted by the whistling in the air. As soon as they had laid off their swan attire, they were again transformed into the most beautiful maidens, and, springing out upon the white sand, they were soon enjoying themselves in the water. From his hiding place the young hunter had taken careful note of where his enchantress had laid her swan feathers. Stealing softly forth, he took them and returned to his place of concealment in the surrounding foliage. Soon thereafter, 2 of the swans were heard to fly away, but the third, in search of her clothes, discovered the young man. For whom, believing him responsible for their disappearance, she fell upon her knees and prayed that her swan attire might be returned to her. The hunter was, however, unwilling to yield the beautiful prize, and, casting a cloak around her shoulders, carried her home. Preparations were soon made for a magnificent wedding, which took place in due form, and the young couple dwelt lovingly and contentedly together. One Thursday evening, 7 years later, the hunter related to her how he had sought and won his wife. He brought forth and showed her also the white swan feathers of her former days. No sooner were they placed in her hands than she was transformed once more into a swan, and instantly took flight through the open window. In breathless astonishment, the man stared wildly after his rapidly vanishing wife, and before a year and a day had passed, he was laid, with his longings and sorrows, in his allotted place in the village churchyard. That's actually one of my favorite fairy tales. There's in like all the other versions of it. We cannot keep people from being themselves or make them stay with us. You cannot make someone stay with you. You cannot make someone your prisoner. Love is not about that. And if you try, as soon as they can, they will go away. Love is letting the person be themselves and be yourself with them. Be happy if they are happy, even if it is away from you. You know? Yeah. It got a little philosophical here, and damn. But yeah, I know I haven't been recording. Yeah, I think I'll try to find more tales that I like, and so I can bring it here and whatever. That's it. I hope you're well, and I'll see you in the future, someplace, at some point. I am not sure when.